On the roof, time and penetrations add up. Every extra rail, every extra hole, it's more labor, more weight, and more chances for leaks. Pegasus looked at that and asked, what if we could simplify it? That's how the SkipRail, Instaflash 2, and BondBox were born. 3 components engineered to save you steps, reduce roof penetrations, and keep your installs watertight, clean, and fast. Let's take a closer look. Today, we're walking through the Pegasus mounting system, how the Instaflash 2, Pegasus rails, SkipRail clamps, multi-clamps, and BondBox all work together for a professional, code-compliant install that's simpler and faster than most systems out there. As we go, I'll walk you through each step of the installation, and we'll show you exactly how it looks in action. Every project starts with Pegasus Glide, a simple online portal that walks you through system layout, structural data, and bill of materials. You can input roof type, slope, panel size, and spacing, and it instantly generates your rafter layout, attachment points, and engineering reports, so you know exactly what to bring to the job site. You can even print the layout to take on the roof with you. It's simple, intuitive, and tailored to each site's conditions. Once you're on site, start by locating rafters, either by measuring from the eave, using a hammer to sound them out, or following exposed beams. Snap chalk lines for your rails and use 2 different colors, one for mounts and one for panel rows to stay organized. Your first 2 rails set the foundation for the entire array. They establish your straight reference line across the roof and define your cantilever, the allowable overhang beyond your last mount, based on your panel dimensions and local wind and snow load requirements. This will be clearly outlined in the engineering report generated by Pegasus Glide. So take your time here because everything else builds from these rails. Instaflash 2 is one of those mounts that immediately makes sense once you see it in action. Just like the original, it has a factory-installed non-hardening sealant. So when you drive that center screw, the sealant spreads out and creates an instant watertight seal. You don't need separate flashing or messy caulking, and it works in just about any weather. One thing I really appreciate is how forgiving it is on the roof. Instaflash 2 can even be installed across shingle butt joints, and that sealant still bonds and seals through the layers. So if your layout forces you right across a seam, you're still protected. Since Instaflash 2 works for both rafter attach and deck attach, the screw count changes depending on which method you're using. For rafter attach, the goal is simple. You need 2 screws fully seated into a rafter. If your first screw misses the rafter but your second one hits, that's fine. Add 1 more screw into the rafter so you've got 2 solid connections. Whether that takes 3 screws or even 4, the rule is the same. 2 screws in the rafter completes the attachment. For deck attached applications, you'll use all 6 screws because the load is distributed through the roof decking instead of a rafter. And once it's set, you've got a watertight attachment you can trust. It's built for long-term reliability and real peace of mind on every roof. In fact, Pegasus is so confident in the Instaflash 2, they back it with a $5,000 leak-proof guarantee. Pegasus rails come in standard 14-foot lengths as well as convenient 7-foot lengths, which are easy to ship, carry, and stage on site. The open channel design provides built-in wire management, and the dovetail T-bolts lock securely into place, preventing wind lift or bolt slippage over time. The tool-free bonding splice lets you join rails quickly, even directly over a mount, and automatically bond sections together for a complete electrical path. You still get the alignment support of a full rail system without all the extra metal. Now here's where Pegasus really steps things up. SkipRail replaces every other rail in your array, saving up to 25% or more in materials and labor, while still keeping the system fully supported and structurally sound. The layout starts out just like a standard dual rail system. Your first row of modules sits on 2 rails, a bottom rail and a top rail. That row becomes your base for alignment and cantilever. For the next row up, you skip the lower rail. You only install a top rail for that row because the SkipRail clamps are going to act as your bottom rail. Those SkipRail clamps don't attach to the rail. They attach to the top frame of the modules in the row below. One clamp is installed just inside the outer frame of the lower row module. The next clamp is installed so it splits the gap between the next two lower row modules, supporting the corners of the two modules that will sit above it. Each clamp has a diving board that the bottom frame of the next row module rests on. When you're ready to set the upper row, you hook the bottom frame of the module into those two SkipRail diving boards. Then lay the module so the top frame lands on the top rail you've already installed. From there, you tighten the SkipRail clamp bolts, which pull that upper row into plane, leveling your modules with the row below and automatically setting your row-to-row gap. Then you lock the top of the module to the rail with the multi-clamps. As you move up the roof, every new row aligns itself to the one below. No chasing string lines, no fighting panel drift, and no extra leveling passes. SkipRail is even tested for up to 160 mile-per-hour winds and 40 pounds per square foot for snow loads. If your site conditions exceed that, Pegasus Glide simply switches you back to a full dual rail layout using the same rail system, so you're always installing to spec. Some site conditions like higher snow loads will require the SkipRail kickstand for added downward support. And if that applies to your project, it will be clearly noted in your engineering documentation. The kickstand is a non-penetrating brace that tucks under the module frame and adds extra support without introducing another roof hole. Just spin the foot down until it makes contact with the shingles, and you've reinforced that module corner in seconds. Because you no longer have a lower rail on those upper rows, your wiring approach shifts slightly. Home runs and MLPE leads are secured with the cable grip mount or wire clips so everything stays tight, protected, and out of sight. In the end, SkipRail means fewer rails, fewer mounts, fewer penetrations, and a much faster installation without giving up a straight, clean, professional-looking array. Now, the Pegasus multi-clamp simplifies your parts list. It works as both a mid and an end clamp and fits frame heights from 30 to 40 millimeters. That means one SKU covers nearly every job. Whether you're capping an array edge or securing modules mid-row, it's the same clamp, same tool, and the same half-inch socket. No hunting through bags for the right part. And when you're using it as an end clamp, just be sure the flat metal face is oriented outward so your array has a clean finished edge from the ground. Pegasus builds wire management directly into the rail. Each channel holds up to 4 PV wires or 2 trunk cables. MLPE mounts secure microinverters or optimizers directly to the rail, keeping them protected and off the roof surface. Cable grips and wire clips replace zip ties. They're made from UV-stable, automotive-grade materials that won't crack over time and snap neatly into the rail channel for a clean, professional look. It's easy to see that Pegasus designed this system with installers in mind. Everything snaps or clicks into place, simple, durable, and clean. Bonding an array can easily become one of the more tedious steps in a rooftop install, but Pegasus designed their system so most of it happens automatically as you build. Because module frames and rails are anodized, you need bonding hardware that pierces that insulating layer and creates a continuous electrical path. And Pegasus integrates that directly into the parts you're already using. Multi-clamps establish bonding across each row, module to module and module to rail. Rail splices carry that connection rail to rail, and SkipRail clamps complete the north-south bonding wherever those rows meet. If your layout includes dual rail rows above or below SkipRail, that's where you'll use the north-south bonding jumpers. They simply slide and click into place on the module frames, tying dual rail rows together anywhere SkipRail isn't present. Because the bonding network is built in throughout the system, you only need one grounding point per array, either a single standard grounding lug or a BondBox, depending on what your design calls for. Pegasus turns what used to be a time-consuming step into something that just integrates itself naturally into the build. The BondBox is Pegasus's all-in-one grounding and junction solution designed to make your final tie-in faster, cleaner, and easier to service. It clicks directly into the rail and locks down with that same half-inch socket you've already been using throughout the entire install. Inside, it includes a built-in bonded bus bar with multiple termination points, so you can land home runs, combine strings, or bring multiple arrays together without separate lugs scattered across the roof. Pegasus also added thoughtful touches installers appreciate. Pre-marked guides on the sidewalls to size conduit holes, a flat surface on the lid to record site info, drain holes to let moisture escape, as well as anti-slip feet to keep it in place on steeper roofs. Once your conductors are landed and your conduit is secured, the lid closes and locks down, keeping everything protected for the life of the system. It's a simple, durable solution that replaces several loose components with one clean, integrated box. As you wrap up the array, Pegasus gives you a couple of clean finishing options, depending on the look you want from the ground. The multi-clamp keeps things simple with one SKU for both mid and end clamping. But if you're going for an even cleaner aesthetic, Pegasus offers a hidden end clamp that gives the array a seamless fascia edge. For that polished finish, the hidden end clamp slides inside the rail before you place your end cap. Lift the panel slightly, insert the clamp into the rail channel, pull it back until it grips the module frame, and tighten the bolt. Once it's locked in, tuck the tab in place and add your end cap. The result is a smooth, intentional edge with no visible hardware. Snap in your final wire clips, scan your spacing, and that's it. You've got a clean, code-compliant array that looks just as good as it performs. Pegasus didn't just design hardware. They designed a workflow, a system that turns the rooftop from a fight into a rhythm, where parts click into place, rows line up on their own, and you end the day knowing the install is as solid as it is clean. And underneath that smooth experience is smart engineering that respects your time and delivers a dependable, great-looking install every single time. That's the heart behind their tagline, a better day on the job. And once you use it, you can feel the difference. Hey, if you want to dive deeper into everything Pegasus offers, they have a free installer certification course available on their website. Just go to PegasusSolar.com, click the Installer Certification tab, and register to get started. If you want to explore whether Pegasus is right for your next project, visit us at SignatureSolar.com. I'm Kelly with Signature Solar, empowering you to own your own power. We'll see you next time.